And while indigenous artists do get a small percentage of sales, you're mostly making this man rich.
I just wanted to take a moment and highlight the fact that this is not only a colonial act, this is the exact act that I'm referring to when I refer to turning places and people into human zoos. When colonizers steal from the indigenous population of a land, and then they produce in mass amounts using cheap labor of another source to profit and line their own pockets, that is exactly the act of turning indigenous people into human zoos. And this was also committed on my indigenous land, what you now call Egypt, Masr. You will commonly go and find so many creations that would normally be done by local artisans, but they were too expensive, you know? And if you're going to turn us into a human zoo, you also want to determine the value of our labor, the value of our work, the value of our personhood. And so you also determine the value of the artisan that you are buying as your souvenir when you travel. So, where it's done as colonial guilt here on so called Canada, which is the stolen land of Turtle Island, you have been doing the same thing all over the world. It's more colonial entitlement than it is guilt. Here, yeah, sure, it's guilt, but even that guilt is a product of your colonial entitlement. Your entitlement to preserve status quo while pretending to somehow, quote unquote, support the indigenous peoples. It's why when you would go to places like Khan el Khalili Bazaar, most of the stuff you'll find there is made in China. It's not beautifully handmade anything by Masriin anymore. And it's really unfortunate, or even by anywhere, because it's really unfortunate because places like Khan el Khalili Bazaar used to be the center of trade between Asia and Africa, where you could find things from all over the world in this one location, and it has literally turned into a big part of the touristic human zoo experience, I guess. So please support artists. Support artists that do things by hand that remind you that this is what our time is worth and what our people value is worth. We deserve living wages. And I say that as an artist who sources my supplies from home, from artisans, actual real papyrus paper, handmade. But nobody sees the value in the work that I do. It is what it is. The colonial mindset has established that Chinese sweat shop models are what you're willing to pay for. And you expect it universally from everyone, while simultaneously feeling like royals because you use our lands and our peoples as human zoos to uplift your own egos. Please go to the video I've stitched. It's in the comments tagged. Learn something. Do better. And if you're looking for proper ways to travel and visit places, more and more anti-colonial models of tourism organizations are popping up by indigenous peoples. Use those instead of your bullshit, I don't know, holiday retreats that are on an all-you-can-eat inclusive, where you contribute nothing to the population, but take candy and extra clothing because you feel so bad for the people that work there, while enriching already filthy rich billionaires that are your colonial gods.